Hello YouTube, this is Frank, and this is February the 7th, Sunday, February the 7th, 2021, and this is my 50th video and my 18th topical video, and I was going to continue with the coronavirus, and we are under new management, thank goodness, and the reference is the SIR model. Just Google for Kermack and McKendrick. There's plenty of information on the internet about the SIR model. Just Google Kermack and McKendrick. And they wrote that model, they developed that model in 1927. So it's been around for a while. And it's a well-known model. Now, back in August, video 39, I did make some predictions for the cumulative deaths for December the 1st. And on the news channels, you'll often see the IHME model referred to. At the time that I made the video 39, IHME was predicting 317,000 deaths, and I was predicting 233,000 deaths, and the actual number was 269,000. So guess who was closer to the actual number? Some dum-dum who doesn't know anything about epidemiology. He just looked at and went to the books used at the state flagship university, and that's what we get. Hey, now here's the I did make a screen capture of that video back in August the 29th. There it is. There's the predictions. 317,000. There's my prediction, and that is on the that's on my video. Excellent. And we can check. This is the CDC webpage, so you just come down here, check deaths, total, and rate. And just click that table, and here it is. There's the actual deaths. Frank and his simple SIR model kind of beat the that model that's used on. See, here's my Raspberry Pi. It has been running the whole time. Now, almost a year, this thing has been running, and it's you can see I've still got all my tabs up there, and I'll refer to some of those in my video. Let me put my thing. So now that we've got us a model, and this is doing as well as some of the professional models are doing. So let's see if we can recommend to the new management what can we expect for the next few months. Certainly we can read the CDC web pages to see what the major transmission modes are. I think there's some new viruses out there, new mutations that make the virus more transmissible. We can look at the effect of the vaccine, and we can look at the effect of masking, hand washing, and social distancing. I think that's what the CDC recommends. And we're going to use our simple SIR model to evaluate these alternatives. So let's see. what we got here. Right here, okay, this is my simple model. That's the spreadsheet that I've been showing the whole time. And what I did, see, this is, I've been over this several times, but I did, since we've got a vaccine, I added a column. I added this column right here to show our vaccinations. And I'll have to explain that a little bit, but this is new, and we can see the effects of our vaccination. Now, you know, and when we talk about our options that we're going to recommend to our new management, Dr. Fauci in the first week of February said, well, even if you try this, if you could wave your wand and just stop the transmission, drive that to zero. Let me drive it to zero. And you would still have many tens of thousands of deaths between now and March, April the 1st. So we're showing 460,000 deaths. And if you just drove it to zero, if you just stopped, waved your magic wand, we're predicting that in the system there's 485,000 deaths. So that's about that's 23,000 deaths that will occur, even if you just, if we could wave our magic wand and just stop the transmission. So let me put this back. So that's the most optimal case, where you just stop the transmission. Now the other thing, we've got our vaccinations, and I added this column here to simulate our vaccinations. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's got the. Where do you get that data from? So I guess the plan was 100 million vaccine. 100 million people vaccinated in 100 days. So I'll show you where this number right here comes from. But over here, now let's look at our now that we've got our model, we can and we're going to recommend to management some practices. Now, suppose we, let me see. Suppose we just increase our vaccination rate to 300, and I'll show you more where that number comes from. Now watch over here. Look at the effect that that has. Did you see it? See, there's very little. Look, watch. You have a very little effect going on right there. And this is what a model is good for. Okay, I'm going to change it back to 250. Watch. Very little effect right there. Now let's just change our transmission. Well, suppose we could get everybody to mask and wash their hands and drive this R value. See back here. Last summer, it was in the 1.1. Okay, so let's just go back. Okay, here we are. So what if we did that to 1.1? Okay, I'm going to change that to 1.1. Now watch over here at our model. It has a much bigger effect than the viruses. I mean the vaccination. So why is that? Well, if we look over here, okay, this is our cumulative vaccination. We start out, say in December, say mid-December, and here we are now. So why does changing our R value have so much bigger effect? The reason is, if we think about it, because we can get everybody to change their behavior or to mask up. We can get the entire population to reduce that R value. But with a vaccination, if we've got a vaccine, we're limited. We can't vaccinate 100 million people today. We can't do that. I mean, it takes, I think the optimal is what, 1 million a day? But if we change our R value, everybody, 300 million people, 300 million people have a lot bigger effect than that vaccine does right there. Let me change this back. All right, so we see that, if we were going to recommend something to management, a practice to management, we would say, try to get everybody to reduce this R value, because it has a much bigger effect than the vaccination does. Now let's come over here. Let's see here now. Oops, I'm on this one. Right here. So yeah, now we know that our vaccination is not going to have as much impact right now as changing that R value right here. So what would you recommend to management? Well, we would want to go to our CDC page, go to the CDC page and look at the demographic trends and see if we can find something here. Right here, deaths by age group. And we can see certainly the older people are much more affected than the younger people. So about 50 years and older, 50. So if we were going to recommend to management, how would we distribute this vaccine? Well, I think we could say, well, vaccinate the most vulnerable first, and then get to everybody else, or the ones that were not as. Let me see if I got this page up here. Yeah, the younger people, that's have a very small death rate, percentage of deaths. So concentrate on the groups that are most vulnerable, and there's probably other factors here, but let's just I'm just a dum-dum. The first thing that popped out at me was this. And there's, we could probably look at underlying conditions and that sort of thing for these people in these groups. So let's see what I've got here. Let me get back over here to this page right here. And this is my new spreadsheet. So let me just erase some of this. How did I get that number? Where does 250 come from? And that's, well, it's kind of washed out right there. Let me put that down for just a second. And let that screen. There it is right here. This 250. How did I get that for the vaccination? Well, I think the goal was 100 million people in 100 days. Now that's the population of the U.S. is 330 million, and if you divide that, that's about 30%. Now, 30%, that's 30,000 people. And if you divide that by 100 days, that's where that's 300. Now I don't know. I used, see that 250 right there? That comes from I'm using that's 25,000 over 100 days, and that's equals to 250. Because the 100 million is very ambitious. You wonder if they're going to be able to hit that goal with all the with all the problems they have with the vaccine, getting it out into people's arms, getting it manufactured. So I just estimated 250. I don't know. 25% of the population instead of 30%. There's 30%. I don't know. I just went with 250. I didn't want to be too optimistic and just say, well, we'll go with 250. All right, so the bottom line now, if we were to go to the IHME website, on February the 7th, okay, but they are projecting oops. They are predicting 600. $630,881. Okay, Frank, in my simple SIR model, it's running on the my Raspberry Pi right here, and I am predicting 561, 632 deaths on June the 1st. And we'll see who's closer on that day. Let me see. It's right here. Let me show you where my prediction is over here. It's on the it's on my spreadsheet. So just go over here. Go down to June the 1st. There it is. There's my prediction. 561,632. 561,632. Now that's the now I think that's like the value or the usefulness of a model. We can look at several different alternatives and try to recommend to our new manager how best to use our vaccinations and how best to reduce the total number of deaths. And so that's all I got for this video. And so thank you for watching.